Okay, hey guys, this is Piper here, and this is a Rome Total War battle. This is a 1 vs 1 battle replay. If I remember correctly, it was 15k CWB, and I'm playing under Alias. I was in the lobby playing randoms, like I usually do, and playing against a player called Diana. And this is a demonstration of the two most powerful factions in Rome Total War, Egypt #1 and Britannia 2nd. So Diana was a really good player. I played her, I'm assuming it's a her, played her several times before this game, and she was a really good player. So brought a standard Egyptian army, brought 4 Pharaoh guards, gold, brought two units of Pharaoh bowmen, their gold attack, possibly some defense, gold attack, silk, bronze defense, 6 units of gold archers, bowmen. We've got 2 units of gold missile chariots. We have 1 unit of desert cavalry, and we have 5 units of Egyptian chariots. So CWB, we can bring 8 cavalry and 2 missile chariots within those 8 cavalry. Regular chariots count as cavalry. My opponent, Diana, brought 2 units of British light chariots and their missile chariots, and I think 5 units of barbarian warlords. They're the most powerful chariots in the game, and they do have some upgrades on them as well. 6 gold slingers at least. They might be fully upgraded. There's a lot of upgrades on them. And 6 head hurlers, gold attack. So that's basically the best Britannian army you can bring. Just very powerful against any faction. I'm using one of my pike units to defend against the chariots. These Pharaoh bowmen are ultra long range, so they managed to get a few kills right there. And I've got both units of Egyptian chariots focusing on the 1 unit of British chariots there. And the main reason why Egypt is more powerful than Britain, or Britannia, is the chariots and the pikes. The missile chariots, each chariot, if you see there, has 2 archers on them and a driver, whereas if you check out the British chariots, it's only 2 guys per chariot, 1 driver, 1 archer. So effectively, the Egyptian chariots get double as many archers on the chariots. So that gives them a massive advantage. And they also have pikes as well. Britannia is very powerful. Barbarian warlord chariots are the best chariots in the game. And a mass rout with these guys, a mass charge can rout a lot of enemies without even fighting at all. So these are very powerful. Against the pikes though, makes them quite vulnerable. However, bringing so many slingers and head hurlers could compensate for that. The head hurlers will destroy the Pharaoh guardsmen. But right now we're going to use the chariots. He's going to lose this battle with the chariots. The archer chariots on my side are so much more better than the barbarian chariots. I can see there, they've already lost 2 units there. I haven't lost any. And we're using the Pharaoh guards to chase away the archers, the chariot archers. we have been able to get a few kills there. So when these guys push forward, push these guys out of Cantabrian Circle, and it makes them more vulnerable to the arrows. I could have made this unit like Nile Spearmen a lot cheaper, but obviously I didn't know what I was going to be facing, so I thought I'll just bring the 4 phalanx. And obviously we've got some hits on the chariots there as well. But in this battle I do have the advantage with Egypt. So doing a lot of damage on the barbarian chariots. They're down to 4 chariots now, and I still haven't lost any. And that's effectively just because these guys are fully upgraded and they fire double amount of arrows. And once these guys lose chariots, they fire less arrows back. So it just basically compounds my advantage. You check it up here. I actually noticed the barbarian chariot archers were exhausted, very tired, charged in the desert cavalry, but they actually got caught there by the barbarian warlords. So I tried to get the quick route on the chariot archers, but my opponent was pretty fast reacting to that. So we'll keep on doing this, try and get as many of the chariots killed as possible before we engage. And we'll run back the Pharaoh Guardsmen as well. I mean, this is the type of army that you should bring when you bring Egypt to most battles. You really want a combination of chariot archers. Always make chariot archers go gold, because they're Egypt's biggest strength, in my opinion. And if you're fighting Roman factions, bring a fair amount of chariots. If you're fighting pike units or factions that could potentially bring pike units, bring maybe 3 chariots or two chariots, and you want to bring desert cavalry, because the desert cavalry is great against armoured units, e.g. Cathrax. And you can see there my desert cav came back from routing and we actually caught the chariots there. The desert cavalry are also really good because they have the armoured defeating property against armoured units. So units like Cataphracts, potentially Urbans, they're really good. So it means that if you're fighting pike factions, you're not just bringing all chariots, you're bringing cavalry as well, because cavalry does slightly better against phalanx. It holds out a little bit better. Obviously you never want to attack pikes with chariots and cavalry, but when phalanx touch chariots they always go down immediately, whereas desert cav last a bit longer, or any cav for that matter. So we defeated all the barbarian chariots, or the barbarian missile chariots. We haven't lost any ourselves, so we're going to reform. We're going to let the chariots rest for a little bit. You see they're exhausted, and just reform here. The Pharaoh guardsmen, the Pharaoh bowmen are fairly tired as well. They're winded, and that unit of Pharaoh guardsmen that was on the left flank, it's at 28 right now. So we know they're going to push forward. Diana's going to push forward. So the thing to do here is the only threat to us now is the head hurlers against the Pharaoh guardsmen. I have a range advantage on the slingers with my archers, but the Pharaoh archers, the Pharaoh bowmen, have an even greater advantage. So we really don't want to engage the slingers with the bowmen. So we're going to push forward the pikes to push them back, because the chariots are basically no match against the pikes. So we're going to push forward, and we timed that actually quite well, because when Diana was pushing forward, we pushed forward the Pharaoh guardsmen, and that gave us the range on the slingers. So I made a slight mistake there. I actually pulled back. I should have actually just carried on and charged. Because I do have a lot of archers left, but I think I finally realised that pushing forward was the right solution because the head hurlers. So we're going to push forward right here. And there's not really much Diana can do here. Doesn't really have anything to guard against the pikemen, except the head hurlers. So we're going to do a combined charge with the pikemen and the chariots. And that will force the chariots to come back to defend the missile troops. And we have the chariot archers on the right flank there, just moving forwards to gain the morale advantage. And you can see here the pike units, even if they just touch right there, even if they just touch a chariot, they go down.
The enemy general flees like a frightened child.
So we're going to use the missile chariots there just to chase these guys off the field, because the slingers were heavily upgraded.
Victory is sweet indeed.
And my opponent submitted defeat.
So
that was a really good game. Again, I had a massive advantage with Egypt, and it was hard for Diana to make an effective attack against me, the army that she had. What Diana could have done was she could have brought chosen swordsmen with barbarian warlord chariots, and maybe he's gone for the rush as opposed to battle with the skirmish, because Egypt's usually going to win the skirmish with the better missile chariots. But regardless, it's always difficult to fight Egypt with any faction, and Diana brought a really good army and made a really good attempt. She was a really good player, she played really well. And if the roles were reversed and I was Egypt, I'm sure she would have, if I was Britannia, I'm sure she would have beaten me. So that was a great game. Diana played really well. That was a great battle, a good demonstration of Egypt and Britannia. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. It's CH Piper signing off.